It is raw as this. Good evening and welcome.
One of the first things you might wonder was that the prosecutor? Because I don't remember hearing much from John Turnbro during the course of this trial. So it was an interesting choice. Prosecution, normally Ray Crouch, who is the chief prosecutor in the county there, he did most of the work. It appeared during the course of the trial, but they changed the plan at the closing. It's very interesting. Sometimes good, sometimes nice fresh face. Who knows? We're talking about the case we're on the verge of a verdict watch, and that's the Tennessee case against Joseph Daniels. And here to chat about this case and where we're going with this verdict is Philip Dube. He's a deputy public defender out of L.A. County. Thank you, Philip, for joining. I appreciate it. First time here with me on the afternoon session, and so, of course, I apologize. Let me get your thoughts on this case, just a broader picture, since we haven't chatted about it before.
No, to me, the broader picture is that science is going to be the best eyewitness in this case. I don't really care what he said or what other people claim Joe Sr. said. The question is, what do the forensics show? And it seems to me that the science actually clears him. It reminds me of, you remember the old JonBenet Ramsey murder from the 90s, where the parents found the body in the basement. And some years later, as the crime went unsolved, a teacher from the United States gave a press conference in Bangkok, Thailand. His name was John Mark Carr. I don't know if you remember that. He confessed to murdering JonBenet. He said he loved her. He talked about some of the details and that how he, missed her and he was sorry for it. So Boulder officials got him on a plane, extradited him with sky marshals all the way back to Boulder, only to find out that the forensics cleared him. So the question becomes, who on earth, why on earth would somebody ever confess to something that for which they're cleared by the science? And there is this phenomenon in forensic psychology called imagination inflation, where some people have a pathological need for attention and the limelight, despite the criminal consequences that could flow from uttering admissions to criminal acts. And that was apparently what happened. The DNA cleared him and they released him from custody. Here, you have no forensics.
Okay, Here's a follow-up to that, because the forensics are key, and there aren't any. But let me focus on the confession that you mentioned. I'm surprised the defense didn't really put on a case other than their cross-examination of prosecution witnesses. How come they didn't call a false confession expert? Are you surprised at that?
Yes, to be perfectly honest, I am. And it could be that it's one of those gray areas where it could insult the jury's intelligence and that you're better off with counsel just arguing the points that point toward a false confession. I'm not sure that this is necessarily coerced as it is false. And I think there is a difference. Coerced means just that. It means that, you're threatened, you're tortured, you're told, if you don't tell us what you really did, we're going to take your children away and cut you off from AFDC and welfare money, that kind of thing. But otherwise, if all you really have is just a false confession, it's typically based on a warped sense of wanting to belong. And it seems like Joe Sr. was seeking validation from the police as if, he was going to get an attaboy, and that the cops could relate to him, perhaps as a father whose kid whines and cries and wets the bed or wets the floor, not realizing or understanding that this could lead to his arrest.
Yeah, and there was that key moment in the defense closing argument where they said, hey, look, the cops told my guy, just tell us, and I guarantee you, you'll get out of the room. You'll be going home. I mean, that's pretty enticing to anybody. And if they claim, as they seem to, that the defendant has some sort of mental challenges, maybe all the more susceptible to that kind of lie. And, of course, we know they can lie. That's all right. Let's take a quick break. Come back with more. This is the Law and Crime Network.